Hey guys, how are you doing? Very well. In today's video I'm going to react to a video that a Buzzfeed sub-channel posted. It wasn't that long ago actually. I think it was like a day ago or something, or 2 days ago, I don't know, but I'm filming this on a Tuesday. I think it was posted on a Sunday or something, I don't remember. But I've had this video sent to me so many times and it's been posted in my Facebook group a few times as well. It's all about two women that work for Buzzfeed and they get a single needle tattoo each. And you guys know I have made a few videos on single needle tattoos and how they age and how they perform and stuff like that. I just want to stress to you guys that people seem to think that I'm against single needle tattoos like altogether, and that's definitely not the case. I definitely think they are pretty and they're beautifully done. The only ones that I really do have a problem with is those really tiny micro tattoos, which I've talked about before. The really tiny micro tattoos literally don't have much longevity at all. They end up blurring out and all the small details that were in them to begin with end up blurring out, and it ends up looking not so hot in like 5, 10, 15 years time. When there's enough space and gap in between the lines with single needle tattoos, so a bigger piece, that in my opinion is all okay, but people need to learn and realise that with single needle tattoos that the really fine lines end up getting bigger over time as your skin ages, as the skin, you know, stretches and just goes through the changes as all people's skin does. And your skin's like formula can change as well. So like with me, I have dry oily skin like on my face and stuff, but all over my body my skin is dry-ish. But that can change also with like hormones, like to say if you were to get pregnant or something like that kind of thing can change the way your skin behaves. Like there's so many factors when it comes to the skin and how tattoos heal and how tattoos age. Also the sun has a lot to do with this also. So if you live in a sunny climate like LA or somewhere in, you know, America that is quite sunny, that can speed up the aging process of a tattoo also. And when your tattoo is quite delicate like a single needle tattoo, it won't stand the test of time compared to something like a traditional tattoo. Now I'm very much aware that I always bring up traditional tattoos as like the higher than type of tattoo, but there is a saying, bold will hold, for a reason, and bold tattoos do last longer than fine intricate tattoos. And I would never expect someone to just get a traditional tattoo because that's what lasts longer. Absolutely not. If you want a fine line tattoo, go ahead, go at it. Just know they won't stand the test of time longer than a bold traditional tattoo, or any bold type of tattoo, neo-traditional, black work, whatever. But the more intricate and fine lined the tattoo and closer together the tattoo, the less readable it will be over time. But yeah, going back to this video, you guys wanted me to react to it, so I've watched like a teeny little bit just to see how long the video is and stuff like that. Like I gave it a click, gave it a little scan, but I didn't properly watch it. I also looked at the comments and there was a few people in the comments saying like this won't hold, or fine line single needle tattoos won't hold. So yeah, I haven't seen what the tattoos that they get are. So I don't know if they're gonna be really, really small like a micro tattoo, or they're gonna be quite big and spaced out. We'll see as it goes. And there was one comment, oh no, where's my phone? But yeah, when I was scrolling through the comments, I saw one comment that said, cough, treacle tattoos, where you at? We need you. And then someone replied, oh, we're already talking about it in the Facebook page. Another person replied, said, I give it at least a week. And then I replied saying, I see you, boo. But yeah, I've been made aware of this, and thanks for sharing and mentioning me and stuff like that. So let's get on with it. I'm gonna get my earphones in. Now my laptop is here. Hang on, if I put the screen up, you might be able to see it. There we go, it's there. I would film where I normally would film, if that makes any sense, like where my desk is and all those pictures and stuff, but setting that up just takes so long, and I'm just like, not in the mood today, sis, at all. Let's do this and this and this. Okay. I don't think they're tangled. They're a little bit tangled. I don't want to trigger anyone. I always get comments like, oh my god, your earphones are such a mess. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Wow, I forgot that these were noise cancelling and it makes my voice sound all funny. Oh my god, if I'm shouting right now, I'm so sorry, but I literally can't hear much. Okay, so let's get on with this. Okay, everything's fine. I'm sure that's all of our thought process when we're getting tattooed in quite a spicy area. We're just like, you know what? Everything is fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not in pain. It's fine.
My relationship with tattoos is honestly pretty strong. One of the strongest relationships I've had.
I would say same, but I've been in a relationship for 6 years. But I can relate to that. Like tattoos will not let you down. Tattoos won't cheat on you. Tattoos just bring you happiness and confidence. So I can understand what she's saying. I like this girl. I do like this girl.
Started getting tattoos way too young, and so I have a whole batch of regrettable tattoos from when I was younger that are very unattractive, but luckily easily hid by clothing.
Same. Oh, I like these girls. They are kind of relatable to me anyway. I am the same as Hannah. I definitely have had some questionable tattoos, but I have covered up quite a few, but I still have a few here and there that I'm, you know, wanting to either laser off or get covered up. Luckily, I managed to cover up the one on my hand recently, which was fantastic. But this is why I make the videos that I make, because I was like Hannah when I was younger. I got tattooed by the most local tattoo artist. Didn't put any thought into it whatsoever, and I ended up with questionable tattoos and ended up having to get a lot of cover-ups. And yeah, that's why I make this content, to help you guys and to stop you guys making the same mistakes as I did when I was younger and not as informed. So I hope that my videos help you guys in some kind of way and help you make better choices. I relate to Hannah's little bow there. Like, she has that really cute bow on her wrist that she thought was bad. I don't think that's a bad tattoo. Like, if that's the worst that she has on her, that's not bad. Honestly, in my opinion, I have a bow on my wrist here that will eventually be covered up soon. Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse. At least that's small. So she didn't make any huge mistakes. Well, obviously I haven't seen the rest of her tattoos, but not bad. Anyway,
I am getting an orchid. It's like an orchid plant, so there's several flowers on it.
I'm getting a tattoo of a deer skull with flowers.
I too have a deer skull on my lower back with flowers. So, I mean, I know it's quite a popular design or object or whatever you want to call it, so I'm not saying she's copying or anyone's copying here. Let me just stress that I know it's a popular thing to get, but I like the idea of both of these tattoos personally. I feel like the orchid would look nicer in the single needle than the deer skull. I feel like with a deer skull you need a bit more oomph to it, maybe a bit more of a mixture, because with something like that there's a lot of different textures. So the antlers, in my opinion, I would do them quite strong with like a bold outline and then maybe a bit more fine intricate detail within the skull. That's just personally how I would have it in this situation. But with the orchid, a nice fine detailed intricate flower tattoo, in my opinion, is always nice to look at. You know, this earphone, by the way, keeps falling out my ear. It's really annoying.
I am so excited to see you again. Yay. You actually did my tattoo cover up behind my ear.
Ooh. I mean, you can tell that is a cover up in my opinion, because it's just so heavy, but that looks so blown out. If you know what I'm saying, like the lines just look so blown. And all the details, as you can see in this tattoo, they're kind of disappearing. So I don't know if this artist did single needle within this tattoo also. I can just about make out, like in the wings there is some separate lines there, so I'm really having to get in. Maybe I should wear my glasses for this. But I can see within the wing there's a few lines there, but as you can see they have actually blurred out quite a bit and it's making it look muddy. And this is what I was saying earlier with micro tattoos, when the lines do heal they do get thicker and you start to lose that intricate detailing, as we can see here in this tattoo. Again, I don't know what the artist technique was for this. I'm only assuming, and I probably shouldn't assume, but yeah, if you take a really hard look at what is happening there with the lines within the tattoo, it's blurring out and it's not looking that hot. But it's not an awful tattoo, but if we're gonna be nitpicky here, I'd definitely say that this is an aged tattoo. Okay, hi, it's editing me. I wanted to update you guys because this girl said that she had been tattooed by this artist before, and I thought maybe it was a video. So I've done a bit of deep dive on YouTube and I found the video of the cover up, and there's a before and after, and oh my god, you guys, let me just quickly play this clip for you.
I was 19 at Disneyland with my good friend Lauren. I need to remember this for the rest of my life. I'm gonna go get a tattoo. It's a silhouette of Tinkerbell and it looks like she is bent over taking a crap. I thought it would be so tough to get the feet and the wings and like that whole weird shape covered.
Okay, now if we compare this was done just over 3 years ago. So if we compare this to what it looks like now, holy shit, look at that comparison. It's crazy. Like, there was so much intricate detail and white highlight in that tattoo, and it's all disappeared, obviously because of aging. And the placement that it's at, it's not really an area that, you know, is affected by much. Like, her hair would have covered it, so not much sun damage would have happened, you know. And well, maybe unless she wore her hair up quite a bit, but normally behind the ear there's not much there to affect it, if that makes any sense. Like, there's nothing really rubbing there, you know. It's not like your hands or whatever where you're constantly using it or whatever, you know. So yeah, wow. Anyway,
so I made 2 different versions for you based on what you told me that you liked.
They're so pretty.
because they're so fine detailed and they're so fine lined, I could not see what the hell was happening on that sheet of paper. I don't know about any of you guys, but I couldn't really see what was going on there at all. Hang on, let me just go back and see if I can get like a close up. Nah, fam. I can see like grey lines here and there, but I cannot make out what that is at all in the slightest. And this is a big screen, you guys, like, it's not like I'm watching it on a small screen. Like, if you're watching this on a phone or something, I can't imagine you'd be able to see any detail at all on that sheet, and I can't even on this big screen.
So dainty, and it just reminds me of nature, not like death.
Again, with this one, really fine lines. It's hard to kind of make out what's going on. Like, obviously I can tell it's a deer skull with a rose, well, 2 roses, 3 roses? I think there's like 3 roses that, no, there's another one there. It's hard to kind of make out, especially when it's so fine lined. And obviously it'll look nicer as a tattoo because this is just like the outline, the basics of the tattoo, the structure of the tattoo. Personally, for me, I would definitely go with a mixture of line work with something like this to really balance it out instead of doing all fine intricate detailing. That's just me personally though.
I've been tattooing now for about 12 years. The way I characterize my tattooing is a lot of fine line, black and gray, a lot of attention to detail and customized design for my clients.
Okay, so I quickly want to use her tattoos as an example, which is fantastic. I'm glad they flagged this up. So with this Egyptian piece here, you can see it's quite a big tattoo. It looks like it's on the back of someone's neck. So if we look at the wings, you can see there is obviously single needles used in this tattoo, but you see where there's a lot of gaps going on there. So as the tattoo ages, as the ink spreads over time, because there is so much gap there, it will age really nicely in my opinion. So yeah, as the tattoo sort of gets bolder because of aging and stuff like that, there is enough gappage there that it's not all going to become muddled and messy. And the same with throughout the whole of the tattoo, to be honest. Like with the legs, there's enough spacing there, and within the whole sort of outfit and stuff like that. Like, yeah, stuff is close together, but once that sort of spreads out, it still makes sense, so to say. Like, this tattoo is big enough to withhold the aging process. So in my opinion, this is like a good example of how a single needle tattoo should be done. Now, if we look at the butterfly tattoo, so within the body, there's a few white highlights dotted here and there. That will eventually obviously get darker and a bit more muddied, and the texture of the butterfly will eventually sort of disappear over time. I'm talking years and years and years and years and years here. Also with the detailing in that wing here with the roses, so there's one with the eye, but the one behind that, I don't know, like the leaves and stuff like that, they won't be as prominent after a few years. Also looking at this paper crane, again, there's enough spacing here and there, so when the tattoo does age and the lines do get thicker, it's gonna look okay. But my only worry is when people get these tattoos, they're not aware of how tattoos age and stuff, so they go in getting this tattoo thinking it's gonna stay really, really slim, very, very fine. And then, you know, after healing, and then 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 5 years down the line, they'll notice that the lines have blurred out. Because people don't talk about it, because it's not shown that much, people don't realise that it's gonna happen, you know, and that's my worry. So yeah, I don't know if this artist tells her clients at all that this can happen or not, I don't know. I don't want to say that she does, and I don't want to say that she doesn't, because I just don't know. Anyway.
It's one of the toughest forms of tattooing because you can see every single mistake.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that because, you know, line work tattoos, once that line is done, there's nothing there that can help you mask the fact that the line might be a little bit shaky. So with traditional tattooing, you'll notice that the lines are very bold. But if you sort of colour in the areas that aren't used as line work areas, if that makes any sense. So if you just have like an outline of a traditional tattoo, and sometimes you'll see like a bit of shaky line work, but then once you colour it in or fill it in and do the shading and stuff like that, it can really mask, you know, a little bit of dodgy line work here and there. Like I've said in a few videos, no tattoo is perfect, that you'll always find a little flaw here and there, without a doubt, because at the end of the day, the people that are doing tattoos are human, and you know, they're only human. But with tattoos like this, you have to have a very, very, very steady hand. Otherwise, you can see the mistakes. There's nothing there to cover them up or anything like that, especially if the client does want just line work and doesn't want dot work added on or shading or anything else that can try and mask that little bit of a dodgy line, you know. So yeah, she's right there, and it does take skill to do micro tattoos, fine line tattoos, single needle tattoos. It does, and I've said that before, you know, it does take skill to do that.
I feel like all my other tattoos are really like strong-handed, very like bold outlines, and this is so just pretty and soft.
I love her other tattoos. I love this girl. She's awesome. And I'd be curious to see how this actually does work with her other tattoos, because like she was saying, she does have big, bold tattoos on her arm with really thick line work. And now that she's having this fine, detailed tattoo in amongst this, I'm curious to see like how it all works out together and if it does look good, you know, to have that balance, or does it look out of place? Yeah, I'm definitely not afraid of mixing up styles. I definitely believe people should mix up styles, but I don't know, like the contrast of big heavy work and then really fine detailed, I've never seen that before personally. I'm curious to know what that's like. This is just making me want a tattoo. All of these like close-up clips and stuff like that, it just makes me want a tattoo so fucking badly. I need a new one.
It's really so different than everything else.
So I managed to pause the video at this point in time. You can see her other tattoo there and then the fresh tattoo, and unfortunately with the fresh tattoo it's quite red, so it's hard to figure out what the frick is going on here. But I would say that works quite nicely. Is it something I would do personally, to have such a fine detailed tattoo among thicker, bolder tattoos? Not personally, that's not something I would do. But I think it works for her, like all power to her, honestly. With the bigger flowers, like the bigger orchids, in my opinion, all good, all fine. And I would say it would heal quite nicely. But with the smaller orchids, so like the buds of the orchids around at the bottom here, and then with this one here that's laying sideways, like these two that are laying sideways, the healing process is definitely gonna mess with that a bit, and you'll lose a lot of detail within that, so you'll be a bit like, what's going on here type thing. With the buds down the bottom here, again, once those lines blur out, the gap there between the two lines, gone. And moving on into Hannah's tattoo, I like it. I have a disc on myself, like I was saying, but there are so many fine details in here. I love the big rose at the top here. I think that is so beautiful. I really do think that is a beautiful rose, and I wish it would stay like that, because trust me, I would be covered in these tiny little small intricate tattoos, especially of roses, which are my favorite, because they're just so beautiful. Like that is very well done. I will give the artist that rose is stunning. The smaller roses down here, again, when aging happens, I don't know how well detailed that will stay. I feel like the skull will actually hold up quite nicely because there is enough gappage in there. Again, the lines are going to blur out and it's not going to look so crisp as years go by. And with the lack of outline on the antlers as well, I don't know, I'm just so used to tattoos having really, you know, defined outlines, because I do love traditional tattoos and neo-traditional tattoos. I think they're stunning. And even with like my realism sleeve, I have outlines on them, like especially with like my house and stuff like that, like there is outlines pretty much all around. Yeah, so the definition of the antlers probably won't last as well as they would with an outline. And that's it, we don't get to see what it looks like healed or anything like that. I'm going to take a quick look on Instagram to see if I can find anything. Okay, so I found the artist's Instagram page and I found both of the tattoos. So this one here was Jasmine's, and the artist has definitely used one of those filters that take out the redness of a new tattoo, which in my opinion, that's okay. I made a video a little while back about photoshopping tattoos and artists altering their tattoos, and I've claimed it as sort of false advertisement when it's done extremely. But to take out redness, like to turn down the saturation in black work tattoos, in my opinion, that's fine. Like, I feel like everyone knows that tattoos go red when they're new. That's fine in my opinion. And it makes the tattoo actually look a lot nicer than it did in the video. So that's that, but I still stand by the point of, you know, the detailing and stuff like that. But let's see if we can go on to Jasmine's profile and see if she has a healed tattoo on there. I'm just scrolling through. No, the only picture that she has is the one that was on the artist profile, but it's in color, so she doesn't have any healed photos of this tattoo. And then this is Hannah's one, so let's see if Hannah has posted any healed photos of her tattoo. Not looking likely at all. She's got no pictures of her tattoos at all, actually. Okay, so there's no healed pictures out here, which would have been good to look at just to see how they've healed. By the dates on Instagram, these were done in February, so yeah, they're definitely healed by now. It's been about a month since they were done. But yeah, so my final thoughts on this video is I wish they had said in the beginning of the video like how they age and the pros and the cons of single needle tattoos and stuff like that. And I'm glad there weren't micro tattoos. That's one thing. That is probably the only tattoo style that I'm just like, can we just not spread this anywhere? Because they are the most problematic ones in the single needle tattoo category, so to say, because they're just so small and there's just not enough area and gappage there for ink to spread, and it just all gets a bit blurry and muddy and what have you. But overall, it's not like the worst tattoo video I've ever seen. But yeah, I hope to see more videos like this on traditional tattoos and neo-traditional tattoos and other styles of tattoos, not just those, but other styles of tattoos as well. But I feel like these kind of companies like Buzzfeed and stuff, they always focus on the small intricate tattoos, or you know, the most expensive tattoo or whatever. Like, I've been asked to do reaction videos and talk about Buzzfeed tattoo videos for a while now, and I don't know, because I know people get entertainment from it and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about the whole thing, honestly. But yeah, anyway, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the Buzzfeed video, on this video, and would you ever get a single needle fine line intricate tattoo? Do you have one personally? How is it healed? Do you like the way it's healed, or have you noticed that it has started to blur out over the, you know, since you've had it? I would love to know. And yeah, until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until then, bye.